What up, everybody? This is Mitch Durrell, and before we get into the video, okay, just hear me out. I got 3 huge favors to ask, okay? 3 typical YouTube favors, okay? So one, can you hit the like button, okay? The like button, just that little thumbs up. You can just click that real quick. We'd appreciate that. Second thing, can you hit the subscribe button, okay? I know it's a lot to ask. I know you subscribe. You know, you're really, really stingy with who you subscribe to, but I promise you will not regret it if you could subscribe to us. And the third thing, if you could hit the bell, just so you'll be notified anytime we post anything, okay? So those 3 favors, I'll be forever indebted to you. I appreciate it, okay? And while you're at it, if you could go ahead and go and check out my guys at tbk247.com as we change the culture for God. Peace. I appreciate the wisdom. I tweeted earlier, I know I was going to learn a lot during this interview. Well, speaking of Kanye, so I knew you started off as secular. Was there a moment where you were like, I want to switch from secular to Christian? Like, what was that moment like for you?
Well, I started off as Christian, actually.
Okay.
But when I started, the church wasn't checking for rap.
Right.
The church was like, yo, that music is blasphemous. It's,
right.
It's of the devil. So, at the end of the day, when you're getting shunned by the church, at the end, you're gonna go. You're gonna get your feelings hurt, and you're gonna find those that really want to be, that want you around.
Mm-hmm.
So, I took my talents to the secular world, and ultimately ended up, becoming a multi-platinum producer. Being affiliated with an Oscar, a movie that won an Oscar. Did theme song for the NBA. Like mad things. And so at the end of the day, when the light clicked on, I did a record with an actress called Stacey Dash, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that record was called Life of the Party, featuring Stacey Dash. So came out, Russell Simmons co-signed the record. Oh, Emcee N.I.C.E is not a household name, but he soon will be. Mind you, I'd already been in the music business for like 12, 13 years, right? And so, right. But it's all good. Mm-hmm. And so ultimately, she came out and said something, derogatory in regards to Obama, and then everybody killed the record. They thought it was her record, but it was actually my record. And so, so I had to go underground for like 6 months to wait for all the storm to pass with her, with her. And this is no disrespect to Stacey. She's a great person. And at the end of the day, her political beliefs is her political beliefs. I just put it in God's hands and just leave it at that, right? And so for me, when I came back with an Indian artist named Suhana Machete. So I ended up getting on the Billboard charts with my secular record called Tonight, and it was on the Billboard charts for like 13 weeks as an independent. And so in the midst of that run, God was like, "Yo, I need you to stop, and go to Christian hip hop." And I was like, "Wait, but Lord, I'm like about to get on right now. You know what I'm saying? You want me to do what?"
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I followed God's plan, did a record called, an album called Praise, and did that. I recorded that album, and a lot of people would say, oh, well, that album shouldn't have did this, or shouldn't have did that, but it did, but I recorded the album in 2 days, 14 songs in 2 days.
Wow.
With a producer, Sam, I know, right? With a producer, Sam Peasy. It wasn't my best work, but I still loved the work anyway. With a producer named Sam Peasy, and then we dropped a record called I Got Angels, which was a Richard Smallwood record. Got it co-signed by Richard Smallwood, and the record went #1 on the Billboard charts. Wow. And then my album followed and went #1 on the gospel charts. You know what I mean? So, and I think it was God wanting me to come back and say, yo, show them what you're capable of, and then teach them what you're capable of, what they could be capable of. And that's pretty much what it did. I got on the charts, 5 #1 records. When it came down to the record companies wanting to do a deal, they was like, yo, we can't give you a little what's his name, Little Xan or Little Pump deal, which was like, which was like 6 or 8 million. I wasn't asking for 8 million for those that want to know, but at the end of the day, it was like, you come in with 5 #1s, so you want a deal that's comparable.
Yeah, right.
And so what happened is the labels is like, yo, nice. We would love to give you $1 million deal, but however, Christian hip hop don't have radio. Christian hip hop don't have venues outside of churches. So how are we going to get our money back if we put that marketing into you? You know what I mean? And you can't play nothing bigger than an arena. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so bigger than a church. And so for me, it was like, oh, okay, they got a point. So what did I do? Got with my partner, Shawnee G. We went out and we started a radio station, right? Not only did we start a radio station, we partnered with the largest digital platform in the world, in Dash Radio, the God's House of Hip Hop, God's House of Hip Hop Radio. And not only did we just start that, we went and got the aficionados within the culture to have shows. And it was important because the culture was able, it was a radio station that was paying royalties.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Right there? Right? And so we're paying royalties. So any artist we play, we pay. You know what I mean? Whether it's a Mr. Darrell to a Lecrae, we paying everybody that we play, right? And so that was the first move, was to, one, get a radio station that was for the culture. And then the second move was, how do I get that to where the spins count for the radio? If anybody follows Billboard charts or normally those charts are governed by what radio is playing. But the Christian hip hop space didn't have a radio station. So that's why we did it. And then we became the first BDS station for Christian hip hop directly. And now that opened up a lane for other radio stations to finally have some type of merit to jumping in. And then forget that, that's just the mail, right? And so at the end of the
So when I was younger, I would say, like, you know how we all go through this identity crisis type thing when we're younger?
That's good.
Yeah, kind of. Like you don't want to be like
friends, indie friends.
Oh, okay.
So
do wonders like AI anomalies.
I know that, right? Saga, who was
rap on the same beats. You're definitely more lyrical. So like you're not.
I actually knew a guy in Miami that he was going to the same.
And I tweeted like last week that someday I'm gonna have a song with him. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen.